Welcome to ECN Trade Daily Video. Before we begin, it should be noted that any advice is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration.
Hello everyone, my name is Rob Clayton and thank you very much for joining me. Well, the Australian dollar overnight briefly ran into supply after another challenge to the upside failed at 73.7080, with the 60-day moving average slightly lower now at 74.02. Even though the US dollar did slip slightly overnight, the renewed uptest didn't take place and didn't sustain as strong as the bulls may have hoped. With a slight weaker commodity link, with copper selling off just recently, has put a bit of a dampener to the upside. Now, from a technical perspective, I do expect to see further weakness towards 73.10 to 72.65 with any rallies. Still an opportunity to sell towards a region of 70.80 to 74.02. Well, it would seem that there is bearish divergence as the price stabs higher overnight for the euro, and the dollar index took a bit of a step to the downside after posting a low in New York at 94.32 and closed at 94.62. Earlier in the week, US President Trump suggested that the United States and Mexico trade agreement replace the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. However, this still paves the way for Canada to rejoin talks. With the overnight high for the euro being 117.33, is that towards 117.55.65 should serve as a cap, as previously seen all the way through June and July, and also with divergence coming through, should see a market turn around. I'm a seller at these levels, and I do expect to see a fall towards 116.35 to 115.55. Dollar yen pretty much unchanged over the last 4 days and still trading under the level, as you can see here, of 111.55.65. But the support slightly lowered. You can see here the market is coming around 110.20.55 as a support base. Overall, we shouldn't discount one more test up, and if we do break above 111.65, that would give scope to 112.50. With the pound returning back after in observance of a brief short break for the summer holidays, is that the Brexit negotiations are stalled. Therefore, could see an increase of a no-deal Brexit, which would mean that the Britain would leave the EU next March without a trade agreement in place. With the technicals rejecting, first of all, the top side around that 129.50, I am bearish, and looking down towards the region of 126.60. The gold slipped overnight and now possibly posting an outside range day and could be testing this level of 1,198. A break beneath there would give further scope to the downside and leave me neutral, as we could see further weakness, and I would have to go back to the drawing board and reassess to see if we are going back to the lows sub 98. But while intact, could still see a rise up towards that 1921. And there was no follow through in oil as the market took a challenge to the upside, and at this stage questions whether we've seen a top for now. As recently seen here, around 68.5 has served as initial cap for oil. Let's see how the market plays in the next 24 hours. If we do see further breakdown, sub 67 would reinstate the downside to $65 to $62 a barrel. Well, that wraps up for today. Thank you very much for joining me. And as always, look out for the intraday report. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day that's ahead.